Hi, I'm Amber from Influencer Updates on Instagram and TikTok, and tonight I'm going to be answering all of your influencer questions that were submitted on my Instagram today, and also any questions that you have. If you want to submit them on the screen in the comment box, I will answer them as well. So, first question. I've tried to avoid the questions where I don't know the answer or not many people have asked it, because I figure if not many people are asking it, it's not worth putting on the live, if that makes sense. So I'm going to audit the first question. Next question. How does Gracie Piscopo maintain her life? Always has exactly 1 million followers. That is suspicious. Well, we don't know how she maintains her life. Her ex-boyfriend, Andre Rebello, he was recently dragged through the courts for murdering his mum, and thereby Gracie's financials were all put publicly as well, and she was on Centrelink at one point, at the point that his mum was murdered. Actually, she was on Centrelink, and so was he. So I think that a lot of what you see on social media is fake. People are not as rich as they may seem, firstly, and secondly, she did get a new boyfriend quite quickly, so maybe he has some sort of money. As for her 1 million followers, that is bought followers, because it is very suspicious, like you said, that it never drops below 1 million. And yes, that is because, same with Ashy, I believe that both of these influencers, when their followers drop below 1 million, they buy more for vanity reasons. It just looks good, feels good, whatever, to have the 1M as the number of followers. Are Mitch and Leah Itsines passionate about sleep teas, meal delivery services, hot chocolate? Who knows? Okay, so this would be to do with the fact that Leah Itsines and her husband, they've just announced that they are closing down their Yes Please Health brand. So they're famous for their sleepy hot chocolate, which is the same as the Georgie Stevenson Naked Harvest sleepy magnesium hot chocolate. Most brands seem to be doing it now. Even Milo, I think, they've now released one that has magnesium in it, which is meant to help kids sleep, but I just don't know if giving them Milo before bed is going to help them sleep, because firstly, the sugar, secondly, doesn't it make them need to wee in the night? I don't know. But yeah, she's announced that they're going to be closing it down, and they're going to be launching a new brand with all new products, and there's going to be 3 business partners, she said today. So I'm guessing that's Mitch, Leah, and I'm guessing Kayla Itsines. I think that she's going to be in on this new brand that they're doing, and that will probably make it really successful, because obviously Kayla Itsines does have a very big following, and yeah, she'll have good marketing. But as for all of their other businesses, I know they get a lot of hate about this, but I really feel like they're just out there giving it a go. Like, they're trying to make something of their life, and that is through businesses. Rather than just working everyday jobs, they're trying to leverage off their fame and make something for their future. And I don't think that's a bad thing. But yeah, other people seem to think it is. But yes, they have had a lot of businesses that they've closed down. Personally, I think they would be losing a lot of money over the years because of this, because starting up a business is very expensive, and a lot of people say that the money that you make in business is in the exit. Brittney Saunders has spoken about that before, I'm pretty sure, that somebody had given her that advice. But yeah, the money you make is in the exit, so when you sell a business, that's when you make the most money. But they're not selling these businesses, they're closing them down. Next question. Laura Henshaw pregnant just after Steph. Yes, so big news this week. Laura Henshaw has announced that she is pregnant. I think that a lot of people suspected this. I had mentioned it on a live maybe 2 weeks ago, that a lot of people suspected it when she announced that she was no longer going to be doing a marathon that she was training for. She was saying that she was finding her body wasn't recovering as quickly as it was supposed to, and she didn't think she was going to get to the level she needed to be before the marathon happened. So she decided to pull out. But yeah, everybody was thinking she's got proper people teaching her like what she needs to eat, what training she needs to do. So why would her body not be recovering? She must be pregnant. And yes, that was true. She is. She's also going to be on the cover of Stella magazine, which is in the Herald Sun this Sunday. She's just announced that on the Stella page, like the Stella Instagram page. So she's the cover girl, which is very cool, showing off her belly. I'm pretty sure Steph did the same, actually. But yeah, some people have said that the timing of the announcement is a bit poor, in that Steph has just announced that she's given birth to her daughter, Billy Miller. But I think the timing is good. I think that they would have definitely spoken about it. So Laura would have wanted to leave a certain amount of time between Steph announcing the birth of Billy and Laura announcing that she's pregnant. And they probably agreed on that particular time frame, and also would have had to work in with the Stella magazine exclusive. But yeah, it's really exciting. A lot of people are also mad, I guess, that Laura had said previously that she doesn't want to have children, but I disagree. She actually didn't say she doesn't want to have children. So when she did a Kick Pod, she's got a podcast called Kick Pod, when she did a special on does she want to have children, it was like a 5-part series and she spoke to all different people. In the end, her conclusion was, yes, she does want children, but just not yet. And that's not saying she doesn't want children. So yeah, now she is pregnant and it's really exciting. And I hope she has a girl because Steph just had a girl and these babies are going to be about 6 months apart. So it'd be really cute if they were the same gender. And yeah, that's that. Next question. Indy Clinton talking about her house, but her husband owned it with previous ex. Yes, so Indy Clinton today, she was posting a photo of a new toilet seat cover that she bought, which is a fluffy toilet seat cover. Honestly, that just makes my skin crawl. Like, the hygiene would freak me out. But I get that in winter, maybe she wants to sit on a warm, fluffy seat rather than a cold porcelain seat. But yeah, she does refer to the house as her house because her and her husband live in that house together. It is both of their house and it is also their children's house. And that is true that, yes, he did own it or potentially had a mortgage on it, potentially still does have a mortgage, I'm not sure, prior to meeting Indy Clinton. And he used to live in it with Pip Edwards because that was his girlfriend previously. But yeah, people were saying that the bathroom looks disgusting, and it's because it had very black, worn out tiles in the lead up to the toilet. A lot of people were saying that needs to be bleached and cleaned. It's a hygiene issue, but then a lot of people are saying that house is just so old or whatever. She's saying that it is a 1950s style house and that's why it has that bathroom, and she's not willing to put up with the construction for 4 to 6 weeks in order to get a new bathroom. And yeah, if you know Indy Clinton, you would know the view they have from their swimming pool, and that house would be worth millions of dollars despite its age and despite the fact it's unrenovated. It would be land value. Okay, next one. The ick of Anna using her birth announcements as clickbait for her business seems so off. This is another popular opinion. A lot of people are mad. I don't know if mad's the right word. I'm using it, but I don't know if it's the right word. They're a bit mad that Anna McEvoy is drawing out all of her birth announcements. She's doing lots of different snippets of different parts, and everybody's watching closer. They want to see more about her mum life and more about her baby. And in between, she's dotting advertisements for her brand Goldie B and the release of a new Gradual Tan moisturiser. I don't think it's off. I think it's intentional, and I think that it's really clever marketing because she's got such a captive audience, and that is her livelihood. Her influencing, I suppose, and her podcast, but also her brand Goldie B. It does seem very successful, and she would be crazy not to be promoting it during this stage when all eyes are on her brand, especially to be releasing a new product, because releasing a new product can actually be quite difficult because there's nobody who's used it. So you're not getting any return customers, and it's hard to get people to leave the brand they're already using to use your new product. So it's very clever marketing, in my opinion. What else? Just curious how you keep up with all the gossip being a mum. Do you also have a 9 to 5? No, I don't have a 9 to 5. I do work the equivalent of 2 days a week as an accountant. But other than that, yes, I just look after my kids all the time, and they're very young still. They're only 2 and 4. So they're asleep at 7:30 every night, and then I'm up until about 10 o'clock and I'm on my phone for about 2.5 hours doing all my updates every night. But obviously I do this because I love it, and getting paid is a bonus. And I'm honestly so grateful that I can do this as a job. It's so fun. What else have we got? What did Ashy and Tijana say that copped backlash this week? Saw their apology. Okay, I was messaged about this today. They said something about wishing somebody can't have a baby. I think that's what they said, and then people were calling them out about it, and then Ashy deleted the video and said she deleted it because she was speaking over Tijana, but really it was because they'd used that as like an insult to somebody, that they wish they couldn't have a baby. I think that's what it was. I haven't been sent the video. This is just someone's explanation. And then also, Ashy has then gone and posted a video today singing along with Tijana, like they're mouthing along to a song that has the N-word in it, and Tijana fully mouths the word, which we all know is not acceptable. And I just don't know why she would do that off the back of that other controversy. But yes, and when I looked at it, been up for a few hours and it hadn't been deleted, so I don't think she plans to delete it either. Are there any really nasty influences that you know of? Allrat Hayes spoke about one this week. I mean, I don't know if anybody is pure nasty, if you know what I mean. Like, I think a lot of influencers do come across like victims, and I think that that's sort of what the the High Scrollers podcast was saying. So Brittney and Matt Hay, they have the Brittney Saunders, they have the High Scrollers podcast, and they mentioned that there's this influencer who's actually a really nasty person, and yet every day she gets on her stories moaning about, like, complaining about her life and how much bad luck and everything she has. And they were sort of like, well, maybe if you were a nicer person, your life wouldn't be like this. And yeah, there's been a lot of guesses. People were guessing Kate Forster. They were guessing Sam Guggenheimer. Who else are people guessing? I don't know, lots of people, but it honestly could be anyone, and I don't think they're ever going to say. It's not like someone's going to guess and they're going to be like, oh, yep, you guessed it, because they know it would get out, and I suppose it's just not going to be good for anybody if it does get out who they were talking about. So, yeah, I guess we'll never know that one. Anna Paul and Harry Jowsey are hanging out together in LA. Is there any gossip there? No, so they've answered, like, people were saying to Harry, why are you hanging out with Anna, what's her name? Anna Paul in 2025, don't you know she's cancelled? And he's like, well, I'm friends with Anna. That's why I'm hanging out with her. So, I don't know. I think that of course it's nice that she has a friend, but I don't know why Harry would be hanging out with somebody who could tarnish his own reputation, because yes, Anna Paul has been cancelled for lots of things. I'm not going to rehash them right now, but yeah, they did go to the Coldplay concert together in Vegas. Yes, they carpooled there from LA to Vegas. I did notice after, like, I was looking at all this, Anna is living in some bungalow house in LA at the moment, and I reckon that she's not with Amaric anymore, and Addis isn't over there with her either. I think she's in the house on her own. Surely she wouldn't be. And then she's hired a car, and it's this, like, massive Mercedes car. But yes, her life is honestly just so bizarre to me. She's just got so much going on all the time. Sorry, I might read the questions on the screen because, you know, you're all here. You all want your questions answered. Whoa, okay, there's quite a few. Oh, okay. People are saying they love Katy Perry. Someone's waiting for Kendrick Lamar, so he's going to be in Ballarat, which is such a random place as part of Spilt Milk Festival. This person's saying that Indy Clinton is going to be spilling a little bit of tea, Ari, the nasty people. Yeah, so she mentioned tonight that she's got 64-page report from a private investigator that she's hired to find the identity of anonymous trolls. And yeah, she's going to be spilling some tea, she said. So I'm very, very interested in that. Let's see what she found. I'm waiting for Katy Perry to be at the Jeff Bezos wedding. I imagine she will be, because she was on his and his future wife's rocket to space. Imagine if she sings at it. She probably will. Where did Mitch Orville and Chloe Zepp end up moving to? I don't know, but Sharon was posting some moving stuff yesterday, and I don't believe they've moved to Newcastle, but we still don't know. Kayla Itsines did have a big following, but not anymore. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like a lot of her followers must be American, but I feel like since she's been doing a lot of interviews since she left Toby, I feel like she's sort of turned a lot of people off her. Maybe it's just Aussies that have been turned off her. And, like, we all know that Aussies have a very big case of tall poppy syndrome, where when someone's successful, Aussies want to bring them down. So maybe it's that. I don't know. But yeah, I am noticing, like, a bit of negativity towards Kayla Itsines of late. Someone's talking about how many spoons they do of the yes please drink. Why have Matt and Tammy split? Did he cheat or is he just a man-child? Well, Tammy did mouth along to the song Man-Child by Sabrina Carpenter earlier this week, but I don't know why they split, but I feel like it must have been something big to make her banish him to Melbourne and not try to work on the relationship in the same house or in the same city. Like, at least when her and Matt Poole were trying to work on their relationship after Posey was born, he was living in the Gold Coast. Not in her house anymore, but yeah, he was living on the Gold Coast, which would make it not easier, but yeah, like easier to try and work on the relationship. But it would be so hard to try and work on it when he's in another state. But I don't know. I don't think they'll ever tell us why they broke up necessarily, but yeah... I don't really know, sorry, and we also haven't got confirmation that they've split yet, so there is still hope, but it's not looking likely. It's not looking likely that they're still together, is what I mean. How do you find your information? I find it by spending hours scrolling social media. Also, people send me a lot of stuff in DMs, so that does help out a lot. Who is sad that the project has ended? Honestly, when I posted that to subs, I don't think anybody was like, oh, I'm so sad about this. Most people were saying that's really good that it's over. But yeah, I've never actually watched it, but I've seen a lot of snippets on social media. They do, like the short snippets. So I think that it's also sad for Australian media that it's not going to be on anymore, because we need more Australian shows and more Australian... I know it's not a show. Well, it is a show, but it's not like a drama. But yeah, I think it's sad for Australian media. Oh, speaking of Anna McEvoy, I didn't mention before the name of her child. So she named her child Suede Ashton Staples. And that got a lot of negativity. It got a lot of hate. It got a lot of negativity. I posted a thing on Influencer Updates during the week, and it was a public post, and it was a birth announcement, and I try to only post positive things on my page because I don't want it to be somewhere that people go to read hateful things about influencers or even negative or snarky things. I try to keep it very positive. So I'm like, cool, she's had a baby, this is big news, post it publicly. And straight away, the comments all filled up with people saying that it's the worst name they've ever heard. Suede is dead animal skin. Suede could be the sister of leather. Like, you could name a brother and a sister Suede and Leather. And I turned off the comments because I just thought she's had the baby, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago. But I just thought that's not something that new parents need to read about the choice of their baby name. But yeah, the overall consensus is that people don't seem to really like it. But hopefully it will grow on everybody. And it's also not a crime to name your baby Suede, if that makes sense. Someone's saying Indy is spilling the tea now. I'm going to have a look after this. Hopefully it's on her stories. Do you think influencers are trolling Indy Clinton? No, I really don't think so. Can Indy Clinton actually do anything about her trolls? Well, yeah, I imagine people can find IP addresses, a private investigator could, and it is illegal to harass people. So yeah, I think that is legally how she could do something. Defamation, I think it's just too hard to fight. It takes way too long, costs way too much money. That's what Kayla Itsines said anyway. No, Anna Paul said it about suing Michaela, that she's not going to do it because it just wouldn't be worth it. But yeah, it is, online harassment of somebody is illegal. What else have we got? So many comments and questions and stuff. Somebody's asked, is Anna Paul cancelled? Well, yeah, like I said, I just can't be bothered rehashing all of that, but I did cover it a lot in the weeks that it all happened, what went on between her and Mik Testa, and also Anna's brother Attis. Oh, someone's saying here that Matt Paul was also from the Gold Coast, which is why he continued to live in the Gold Coast when they were trying to, like, fix their relationship. But the thing is, when they broke up, he was living in Sydney. He actually moved to Sydney and was living with his dad for a bit, doing his Iron Man stuff. And that's when I thought they'd broken up. And then I think they broke up and then he moved back to the Gold Coast after that. Or maybe he moved back to try and rekindle the relationship. I'm not sure. Oh, well, yeah, he probably moved back, someone's saying here, because she had Posey. True. I don't know who a lot of these people are. People are talking about Andy Cohen. Is that someone I should know? Christy Swadling's baby is so adorable. Yeah, I think that she's just thriving being a mum. You can tell she just loves it, which is really, really cute. What was Ellie Gonsalves' story this week? Her stories expired before I saw them, but she was on a rant and shared screenshots of messages from Jeremy Piven and Jared Leto. Yes, so I did post about this in subscribers. So Ellie Gonsalves, I don't actually know how to say her name. Now that I say it out loud, I actually don't know how to say it. But she mentioned this week that she was showing screenshots that Jared Leto, 9 women have come forward recently saying that he has done inappropriate things to them. And he's a famous singer. I don't know, one of those bands, Seconds to Mars or something. He's a famous singer, and Ali showed screenshots of his team reaching out to her in the past, asking her to, like, come along to his concerts and stuff. So they obviously go through the location that he's going to be performing at and look for hot women, assumingly, to come along. And she was saying how this trick's as old as the book, basically. Like, all these creepy men get their team to message these women on their behalf. So then if something blows up or they get rejected or whatever, they can just deny knowing anything. So she was saying, like, it would be Jared saying to his team, can you please ask her? But then he gets away scot-free because he's like, oh, well, my team did it. I didn't even know they were doing it. And yeah, she was just saying that there's a lot of people that do that, and that's how a lot of the creepy sort of stuff goes on in Hollywood, I suppose. I think that's the vibe I got from what she was posting. Do you think Mark Carroll has been looking a bit dishevelled as of late? Is something happening? I think a lot's happening. They've got, I suppose their child's not that young anymore. I think she's probably 6 months old. But he has been very open about the fact that just after she was born, one of their ex-employees stole their whole business app concept. They were going to be launching an app, and one of their employees stole the whole concept and has launched it herself, even stolen the business name. And tonight he posted like a whole heap of screenshots about, well, clues as to who that might be and more information about what they've done. And I did find who it was. Somebody sent it in to me that the pictures matched up. Like, he posted a picture and like scribbled out any identifying factors, but somebody had found the same screenshot on a fitness page. So I have to look into who that is. And yeah, I'll be posting about it tonight. But yeah, I think he's probably very stressed with a new baby and this whole business thing that's going on. And he has spoken openly about having depression, maybe, I think it is. So yeah, there's probably a lot going on for him. Do you think Lily Brown accusing Sussan and Bras and Things of copying her robe is a reach? It is a bit, because that's just the fashion industry. They all copy each other. I'm sure Lily Brown has worked for brands such as like White Fox and Beginning Boutique and all that copy other brands. It's just what happens. Where I think Lily has gone wrong with this is it's got a lot of eyes on her brand, which is great. That's what she's done right. Sorry, people love this drama. I know that I've been to her website since this drama's come up. I've been to her Instagram, or the chill one, because I'm blocked from her personal Instagram. What she's done wrong here is she's gone on her stories and she's just said, oh, this is a copy. I'm sad about it. I've put my heart and soul into this. What a shame. And especially because she'd worked with Bras and Things 2 weeks before they then released a copycat robe. And I think that she needed to instead use that airtime or story time, whatever it is, to promote her product, promote the point of difference of her product. So I still don't know why this Sussan and Bras and Things robe, they're both... Okay, I'm back. I still don't know why they're charging $70. And I did look up the fabric composition. It is 100% plastic, which is 100% polyester. The $70 ones are polyester, and also her $160 chill robe is also made of plastic. So I don't understand what the point of difference is. I was thinking maybe it was a different fabric composition. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know if I think they're all made in China. I can only assume that because Lily hasn't pointed out any difference there. Lily's does look better in the photos. It does look more plush and more oversized. But again, I wouldn't know because Lily hasn't told me why I would buy a $160 robe over the $70 copy. But yeah, I would love to buy them both and compare, but obviously I'm not going to be spending $230 on two robes that are the same. But yeah, it's definitely got a lot of eyes on her brand, so it's clever that she's spoken about it in that way. But yeah, she just needs to tell us the point of difference. That's what I would love to know. But I can't message her that because she's blocked me. What else have we got here? Oh yeah, someone's saying here Chantel Duncan named her second son Suede. But yeah, she's spelt it different. Swayde, Suede. Yeah, I do remember her calling her son that, but I've never associated it with the animal skin, suede. It's interesting because my husband the other day, he was buying some shoes that had suede on them, like Adidas. I don't know if it's real suede or fake, but he was saying he's buying shoes with fur on them. And I was like, what are you talking about? You're buying shoes with fur on them. And then he showed me the picture. I don't think a lot of people will realise, or maybe it's just him, but leather is like the smooth leather that we all know. And then the opposite side of it, so the inside of the animal skin, I suppose, or maybe it's the outside, I don't know, but the opposite side of the smooth leather, that is the suede. So it's just leather, but the opposite side. Just in case anyone didn't know. Someone's saying here, did Anna actually have her baby weeks ago? She's still posting as if she's in the hospital. Yeah, she is still posting that. She's still doing hospital tours. But yeah, I believe her baby would be 3 or 4 weeks old now. I noticed on the birth announcement, she didn't put a date of birth, which I actually think is a very, very smart idea. I don't understand why people with public profiles would put their child's date of birth and full name and the hospital they were born at and everything. But yeah, I noticed she didn't put the date of birth, and I think that's probably why. Kayla Testa is moving to Germany. Yeah, that is right. So she mentioned that the crime on the Gold Coast is way too much and it's scary. She's been living in the Ruin X house as well. She did a house tour and it's honestly like a cave. It's like a concrete cave. You need to watch the tour. It's very interesting. It's very Kim Kardashian-esque and the house is worth millions. It was one of those famous renovations by the Project X couple that then broke up, and the girl is now best friends with Lucy and Nikki. But yeah, they renovated the house. Michaela's been living in it. I think she pays $120,000 a year in rent. So $2,000 a week. Is that? No, more than $2,000 a week. So yeah, the house tour was very interesting. And also the ceilings were really low. That's why it felt like a cave. But yeah, she's moving to Germany. Then people were saying to her, oh, you know, Germany, it's just as bad. And she's like, no, I've been going there 2 to 3 times a year for a long time. I have an apartment there. So I found that really interesting. Where is Veruca Salt? She seems to pop up for a day or two, then drop off the face of the earth. She does, but when she is back, she is always back with a bang. So she was recently talking about ex-Love Island contestant Tak, I believe his name was, and she was saying that she hooked up with him on some dating profile, and then I think she met up with him in real life, and then she was putting him on her social media saying, before I pursue things more with this man, people let me know if he's actually dating anyone else or if I need to be careful. And everybody was flooding her messages with all this stuff saying, you need to be careful, this guy is dating a lot of other people and all these bad things. And I noticed so dramatic, they reported that he actually called the police on her. So I guess that might also be for online harassment. I don't know what it was. I didn't actually finish reading the article because I was reading it just before I hopped on my live. But yeah, that was a very big thing that she did recently. There was also something else. She was proving that she was like charitable or something recently because someone was accusing her of something. I can't remember what that was. Not sure. What do you think Sarah's Day bought her mum for her 60th birthday, given that her dad got an Aston Martin car? Ooh, that's a good one. I hope that it was something on par with an Aston Martin car, but I suppose if it was, we would probably all know about it. I don't know, maybe it'll be in an upcoming YouTube vlog. That's funny. Okay, I don't know anything about that. Have you been following Phoebe Spiller and Stacey's Las Vegas trip last weekend? It seemed like they went on such an adventure. Loved their spontaneity. I have been following that on TikTok. So Phoebe Spiller, she said, if I get 50,000 likes on this post, me and Stella will fly to Vegas this weekend. And it was like 48 hours away, and she got the likes, and they're like, all right, let's go. And she was saying, it's just the flights we've got to pay for. Everything will be free when we get there. Because she was saying that, like, as hot women in Vegas, men just pay for everything for you. But I doubt that's for accommodation. I think she said you pay for flights and accommodation. But yeah, good way to live your life, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. But anyway, she went to get ready for the airport and she couldn't find her passport. And then she realised when moving houses, she thinks she accidentally threw it out. Then she was getting psychics to do readings on her to see if they could see where her passport was. That didn't work. So then she had to go to the passport office, and she had a passport within 24 hours. So I'm actually shocked she made that happen. But also, I would have thought that when you book the flight, you need to put in your passport details, but maybe not. And yeah, love the spontaneity. I agree. They're both single, and I think that is really, really great that they did that. Honestly, that would be my advice to young single women, is go on the holiday together. Like, why not? Love that. Even women that aren't single, go on the holiday with your friend. Will you read Chloe Fisher's book? Yeah, I probably will. I honestly would love a book from Chloe Fisher about all of their businesses and all of the different things they've done, like all their renovating, property development, and Fisher's hard fizz business and everything. But obviously she's never going to write a book about that because people don't want to talk about money, I suppose. But she's going to be talking about the trauma related to the birth of her daughter, Bobby. But yeah, I'll definitely read it. I love reading influencers' books. Do you guarantee to keep people's privacy if they share news about influencers? Yes, I definitely do keep the person who submits it, I keep their privacy, because also no one would care. No one cares who sends in stuff unless it's like an influencer who sends it in. But yes, I definitely guarantee to keep people's privacy. That's why you never see me post someone's name when I post on my page. What else have we got? There's always questions about Revy Jane, but I just don't follow her, and I obviously need to. I never get sent anything apart from in the Q&As, but maybe I'll screenshot that one, and I'm going to start looking into her a bit, because maybe she's got some things going on that I need to be on top of. Not a question, but feedback. Please stop saying "if that makes sense" after every sentence. I do say that quite a bit, and you're right, I do need to stop. I try not to say and I try not to say like, and now I need to try not to say "if that makes sense." Thank you for that feedback, honestly. Okay, and now back to these questions. Oh, yeah, sorry. The band that Jared Leto sings for is 30 Seconds to Mars. And someone saying she was calling out the teams that facilitate these men in Hollywood to abuse women, I believe, and had screenshots of Jeremy Piven being a creep online to her and heaps of women. Yep, I agree with that. Oh, I've actually accidentally just asked someone to join the live. That was an accident. The Outspoken podcast series about Sarah's day opened my eyes to her behaviour over the years. Not good. Interesting, because that is actually about 2 years old, that series. They've just been... It used to be a subs thing, and now they've released it to the public. But, yeah, it would open people's eyes, for sure. There's definitely been a lot of controversies over the years. She's definitely good at staying relevant. This person saying they don't think Lily's gown, like the flower pattern, is uniquely her design, but I think it's rude of a brand who did a paid ad with Lily to copy her. Yeah, I suppose that would have hurt a bit, but also You just don't know if they directly copied Lily, or maybe it was in like a catalogue of designs. Maybe the manufacturer copied Lily and then Bras and Things ordered it. You just don't know. I guess we'll never know. Can we talk about Brittany's wedding dress? Yeah, so Brittany Hockley, she got married this week in Bali, and it was not so secret, but she tried to keep it secret from the paparazzi, but I think it definitely got out. It was very obvious that they were getting married because of all the content that her friends and family were posting. But yeah, she had 2 Stephen Khalil dresses with 3 different looks. So one of them was like a convertible dress where you could take part of it off to then reveal a shorter dress. And yeah, of course they were stunning. Brittany Hockley was never going to be anything but stunning on her wedding day, and the dresses looked incredible. They were so detailed. The whole wedding looked incredible except for the cake. Honestly, the cake story was just so funny. They were explaining how they ordered this cake. It was $1,000 in Bali, and it was meant to be one of those big, round, flat meringue cakes with a whole heap of fresh fruit on top, and it ended up looking like a burnt pizza with sun-dried tomatoes and olives on top. That's what it looked like. And Brittany was saying that when they went to cut the wedding cake, they could hear the crunch because it was burnt. But yeah, it was a very funny story for the podcast. Do you think Brittany Hockley will get pregnant quickly now? That was asked last week as well, and no, I don't think she will. She said they're not actually legally married yet either, and they will use the same celebrant that Laura used, but they haven't booked it in or anything. They're not in any rush with that. And yeah, they haven't decided where they're going to even be living or anything yet. So no, I don't think they'll be getting pregnant anytime soon. Oh, this is talking about Veruca. She went around LA filming all the enforcements laughing, and then posted something about an Australia Day protest that she included herself in. Yeah, so she was laughing about all of the stuff that was going on in LA. There's a whole heap of protests and things. And people were saying, oh, this is really rude. You wouldn't even get involved or something. And then she was proving that she did get involved in protests. I'm not sure. It was very strange. Oh, someone's saying here the rude comment about Britt Hockley's loafer around her ankle, and her sarcastic comment back was quite funny. Yeah, so someone commented that it looks like she has a loafer around her ankle, and she wrote back saying, oh yes, genuinely, that got attached to my dress in the shower, or my shoe in the shower, and I didn't realise it was there. I don't know, it was funny. I obviously am not funny. I can't even repeat a joke. Sorry, I'm going to try and wrap this up now because it's been nearly 40 minutes. Yeah, this person's saying that you'd need more than 48 hours notice for a USA visa to clear. Don't know, but they ended up in Vegas, so that's the main thing. This person's saying that they work in retail and they order often a year in advance before you see it in shops, so they doubt that they copied in 2 weeks. The thing is, the paid promotion with Lily would have been months in the planning as well, potentially. But yeah, if they very well could have ordered it before they worked with her. Brittany has talked about her infertility. She's tried once through IVF. Really? I don't recall that. I know that she's frozen her eggs because she hasn't found the one until now. But I don't know if she's ever tried to fall pregnant. I don't recall that. All right, I'm going to wrap it up because it's been 40 minutes. And thank you all so much for joining. If I didn't answer your question, definitely send me a DM and we'll talk about it there. I need to talk about Revy Jane with people. And yeah. Again, thanks for all joining, and I will see you all next week. Bye.